I just want to talk to you a little bit about artificial intelligence. This is ever changing, and so whatever I say is going to probably be dated, but I'm going to explain some good ways that it can be used and then some abuses. I've already referred to how it can be your research assistant for helping you to find good commentaries. It can also help you analyze specific sentences. This specific sentence was by a student, and I was struggling to figure out exactly what was wrong. I knew something was wrong, but what was wrong? And then I plugged it into AI, and it helped me to explain and see what was the issue with the sentence. Analyzing massive amounts of information. So I had a student submit a common translation of Deuteronomy, which was a rather large document. And so I had it kind of provide an analysis of that translation and help me help the student see areas where they could improve. And probably the area where I think AI can be most beneficial, but also the most dangerous, would be analyzing something that you have written. So, for example, this is an abstract that I wrote, and I'm presenting it at the Evangelical Theological Society in the fall of 2026. And so you can plug it into AI and then get a critical critique. And this is very helpful. It gives you a commentary on whether or not the thesis is clear. You have to ask the question, analyze the abstract, check for grammar and clarity of thesis. That's all that I gave it. And then it provides various different details of information. You can see that it was rather thorough. Here's the issue. It does this kind of a thing. I would therefore formulate the thesis something like, and then it gives me its version of formulating the thesis. That's the kind of stuff that you want to stay away from. Now AI is writing it, not me. I could read that and then I could see some benefits and I might modify it here or there, but I've personally found it more distracting, and it actually ends up changing the content of what I'm really trying to communicate. So you want to stay away from this is what's called generative AI, and don't do that. Some of the other comments that it makes can be helpful. One structural concern, you have 3 overlapping formulations of essentially the same content. Okay, so am I being redundant and saying the same thing over and over again? It's saying that I am. I can then analyze that myself and then come to the conclusion, no, I'm doing something a little different on 3 of those points. They may be similar, but they're still different. I'm going to leave it alone. Or I can synthesize it and put it together in a different way. That is basically, it is giving me a peer review. Now, as you think through your research papers, and I'm having you guys do peer reviews yourselves, let's be honest, AI can probably create a better peer review than your peer could. And you could plug it in there and it would give you some good feedback. However, you having to do the peer review yourself will help you learn how to observe and find and see mistakes. And that's what we want. Our objective here isn't just to get a polished document. It's actually to be a better thinker, to be a better student, to be a better communicator, to be more of a person. And so be careful with AI, and particularly the generative AI, but I would encourage you to use it and to use it correctly. Paul repeatedly prays that the believers would have spiritual wisdom and understanding to understand the knowledge of God. Well, what is that? Well, that's this. To know what is appropriate and inappropriate use of AI is a matter of spiritual wisdom and understanding. And may the Lord give you spiritual wisdom and understanding to use this mighty tool in a wise, judicious, and God-honoring way.